Yeah, what's good, guys? My name is Daniel Adams, and today I want to talk to you about nice guys. Nice guys have one problem and one problem only. They don't understand the boundaries of their behaviors and the kind of energy they're sending out. There's nothing wrong with being nice. I mean, even for an alpha guy, at some point, to have a pleasant conversation with a woman, you had to be nice. Being nice is not the problem. The problem with nice guys, they don't understand that you have to have boundaries with your behavior and your words and your actions around a female. That's the difference between an alpha guy and a nice guy. But all the nice guys will end up being put in one bracket because they tend to behave the same way. And that lack of understanding is what makes them a nice guy, not an alpha. As an alpha, to be able to get what you want from a female, at a certain point, you still have to be nice. It's just that the nice guys themselves, they don't know the boundaries, when to stop. So their whole behavior around a female is all about pleasing. It's okay to please, but nice guys go too far with the pleasing. They go too far with the compliments. They go too far with just going with the flow. They never truly show their own character. As a nice guy, all you're doing is putting pressure on the female by doing all these nice, extra nice things. You may or may have not experienced that kind of thing when, you know, a girl really likes you so much and she's doing too much to please you. When you can tell this is not their baseline behavior, this is just a little bit above, above and beyond what they usually do. That's when you get that vibe where you feel like, what do you want? What do you want from me? You understand? So that is exactly what's going on where nice guys are behaving like that around the females they like. The girl is not moved by this behavior. They may look like they're moved, but they're more worried about what do you want in return. Just think of it like this. Every time a girl says she likes something and you also like it, every time she says let's do this, you just do. Every time she just suggests anything, you just go with the flow. You never truly express what you like and what you don't like. That is the problem. It's almost like all these things when they're happening, it's like you're putting this girl on a wall. It's like you're pressing on the wall. She has no room to wiggle to be able to see you as a potential lover, because you're just pressing on the wall with all your nice affections, nice commentary, nice compliments, all the stuff you can say. It's just a lot. It's a lot for her to take. It's just like pressing on the wall. Now, you see, that behavior is opposite to what an alpha does. It's almost like they don't care. Even if they do care, they have a controlled desire. Meaning, when you have an uncontrolled desire for somebody, especially females, you look stupid. You look pathetic to the girls when you have an uncontrolled desire. You have to have some sort of restraint with your own behavior around females that you like as a nice guy. You understand? There's no problem being a nice guy. The problem is you have to understand everything you're doing is sending out some sort of signal. So you want to send the right signals, not the wrong signals. You understand? So the right signal is to also show you have some sort of restraint, to also show your character in the conversations you're having with her. Sometimes you say yes, sometimes you say no to certain things suggested. And when you say no, you're trying to be true to yourself. If you don't like something, just say, I don't like, well, that's not my thing, really. But the point is, you don't have to be rude at saying it. You understand? You just have to be clear with what you're trying to say. You understand? That's very, very important, to be able to express yourself properly around females that you like. You understand? That means your likes, your dislikes. That gives her room to kind of figure you out, like, that gives a room trying to figure you out. Also, it gives a room for her trying to find something that she can try to convince you as well that this is a good idea. So the moment she's putting that energy trying to convince you into something, that's a good thing for you. The moment that she's putting energy into trying to convince you about something else, of a subject that maybe you don't like, this is how you build connections with people. By convincing one another of, because just think of this. What do you think is happening in a conversation? When you're talking to someone, what do you really think is going on? When you're telling me a story, when you're telling me anything that happens around in your life, what do you think is happening? You're trying to make me see something. You're trying to make me understand something. You're trying to make me get the point of whatever it is you're telling me. And that's sort of, well, that is seduction. That's all it is, really. Seduction doesn't just mean sexually. It just means convincing someone of an idea or to see things your way. You understand? So that's the problem with nice guys. They just don't have boundaries with their behaviors, and they don't have no restraint with their words, compliments, and their niceties. You understand? They have to be controlled, and also be able to show your true character when you're dealing with a female. Show your true character. You understand? Don't just go along with whatever is going on. I was watching a video on online. I'll just put it up here. With Tupac. He was saying, yeah, he used to love girls. He used to also be a nice guy. Until he realizes that being nice never gets him anywhere. You understand? The girls would say, yeah, you're nice, but I don't see this working out. So, even someone as famous as Pac was making that silly mistake before. It just goes to show that it's not just you, mate. It's not just you who behave like that. A lot of guys behave like that. It's just lack of education and information to understand what is you're doing and what you're trying to achieve. You understand? So the opposite of all of this nice guy business is an alpha male. An alpha don't try too hard. An alpha don't even try to impress a girl. Now you see this kind of thing, that doesn't put pressure on a girl. It gives the girl room to be able to chase this guy. You understand? Because he's not pressuring, he's not putting too much pressure on the girl with his attentions, with his compliments, with everything else that he has to do to try to win this girl's affection. An alpha doesn't do this kind of things. And you know why the girl end up chasing the alpha? Because she has so much freedom emotionally, physically, and mentally to be able to chase this guy, to try to get much more close. She has, freedom to chase this guy, to try to connect with him on those levels, sexually, emotionally, and physically. You understand? That's why she's free enough to move to be able to chase an alpha, and why she's not chasing you, a nice guy. The reason why she's not chasing you, you're pressurizing her. You're suffocating her. You understand? That's why she doesn't pressure you. That's why she don't chase you. Why would you're all over her all day long, giving her compliments, giving her all the things she needs to hear, blowing up her ego and all sorts. You understand? And it is a big mistake. It is a very big mistake, because you have to understand as well, during your conversations with any woman that you're interested in sexually, you have to understand your non-sexual attention is the most valuable thing you can give her, not your compliments. So when you're just giving it away that free, what is it that she has to work hard for? What is it that she has to work hard for? There's nothing for her to work hard for. You just gave her everything. You just gave her everything, which is your everything, is your non-sexual attention. That's why she ain't gonna chase you. You understand? That's why she ain't gonna chase you for that attention, because you're giving it in abundance. But an alpha male, there has to be some sort of transaction. When he's giving that attention, he's also getting something in return. And that's when she's giving him all the sexual attention he needs. Because she knows to be able to get his non-sexual attention as well, she has always to give him what he wants. You understand? It's a fair trade. It's a fair trade. But if you're just giving away your non-sexual attention for free all over the place, then that's why you're not connecting with the females that you want to connect with. And that's a big problem. You understand? So being a nice guy is not a problem, but you have to understand why you're called a nice guy by females, and why they say they don't want to be with you is because you're suffocating them with your compliments and all the niceties that you can give them without them asking, without her doing nothing for it. She didn't invest nothing into all those compliments and niceties you just given. It's just there in abundance. So you be the backup guy. Then you be the backup guy when she chases the alpha that she can get to, and he's too busy making shit happen in his life. And then when she needs some attention for free, you're the one she's calling, and you run and blow up her ego. So that's the problem here. Being a nice guy is not really a problem. You just need to have boundaries with what you say and what you do around her. Because even for an alpha, like I said, you have to be nice to a certain degree to be able to have a pleasant conversation with a female to a point where she decides to do anything sexual with you. If you're just a bad boy all day long, doing all kinds of negative things or unpleasant things, then it doesn't work out. Even if I don't care what kind of female that is, there's a point where you've gone too far as well. You understand? So the idea, the difference between a nice guy and an alpha is that an alpha gives a female emotions that goes up and down, up and down. And a woman wants to feel a wide range of emotions, up and down, positive and negative. But you got to balance it out that there's more positives than negatives. You understand? So when these emotions, when she's experiencing all these emotions around you, that's how women falls in love with you. And why do you think women go back to men who people outside the relationship can say, you know, he's abusing her? Why do you think they keep going back to this kind of man? Because these men give her this roller coaster of emotions. Do you understand? Now you, the nice guy, you're always nice all the time, so your emotions are just flatline. You understand? And it's boring. It's boring. You understand? There's many things that a woman can forgive you to a point where, like I said, you don't hear women going back, you're not hearing, like I said, women go back to men who abuses them just because they give, these men give these females a wide range of emotions. A woman wants to feel. You understand? So there's many things that women can forgive a man for. One of them is even violent men get forgiven by these girls to a certain degree. But a woman will not forgive you for being boring. Get me? Listen to this. A woman will not forgive you for being boring. She will not forgive you for that. A woman will not forgive you for being boring. Listen, a woman will not forgive you for being boring. That's just a no-no. That's why you hear things like be spontaneous. And that means say something she wasn't expecting. It doesn't mean spend some money, do some expensive shit. No, it just means do something she's not expecting. You understand? And one of the thing about nice guys, they ask permission too much. Be bold, man. Go in there, do what you have to do. If you have to apologize, apologize. You understand? But that means say what you need to say in a respectful manner. If you like a girl, don't beat about the bush. Say exactly what you want from the get-go. Say what you want from the get-go. Don't wait 6 months later, that's when you're trying to tell the girl you like her. Don't think she didn't know. She knew you liked her. But you're just coming off as deceptive, you understand? Women appreciate being honest. Even if it's how you say it, that's up to you. You can say it as raw as you want. You can say it as clear as possible. But it's important that even when you meet a woman, as early stages, as early as possible, get her to know what you want. You understand? Let a female know what you want ASAP. Don't try to be no friend when you know you don't want to be no friend. This is the kind of thing when females or women, this is the kind of thing when girls start to say, men are dogs, man, you're lying to her, you're being deceptive, you didn't mean, you know what I mean? She just, and they say you use them, it never ends well. It never ends well when you're trying to pretend that you're just going to be a friend, but then let down the line, you feel differently. Don't think she didn't know all this time that you wanted to fuck her. She knew. You understand? She knew. But she was waiting for the ball to drop. And then he dropped. And then she finally tells you exactly what she think about the idea. So don't play with women when it comes to this kind of intuition type of stuff. Women are very finely in tuned to this kind of behavior. Men, you have to learn these things. You see, women are born with game. They just know. It's just natural in them. You know how many times they have, how many times a woman has been approached by, and your average woman has been approached by men? How many times have you approached? How many women have you approached in your life? Do you think you've approached more girls in your life as much as how a woman has been approached in her life? I don't think so. That's why she is more in tune with the game more than you. But you gotta know the game, so you don't have to approach a million women to get the game. You just gotta get the education and information and then put it to practice. If you don't put it to practice, you keep failing all the time. You understand? There's so many things that you have to understand when you want to win with women. And one of those most important things, in my experience, it is having self-control. The words you say, what you do, and how you carry yourself around women makes a whole world difference. You understand? So if you're a nice guy, don't think being nice is a terrible thing. No, there's nothing wrong with being nice. Just know that the behavior the energy you're sending out there is not true. And also, what you think is positive going on, when you're thinking you're doing something positive, all it's doing is having a negative effect on the female that you're communicating with. Meaning, she just feels pressured. All the niceties you do, if you're buying presents, if you're doing all these things, she just feels like she has to pay you back somehow. And that is pressure. And she's not going to pay you back with some pussy. That's not how it works, man. She's not going to pay you back with some pussy. But alphas don't do this kind of thing. That's why a female chases an alpha. And a female feels like she has to throw in the pussy to hook an alpha. Do you understand? So you ain't got to chase the pussy. The pussy can chase you. You understand? That's why alphas are out there getting pussy left, right, and center, because they're not chasing it. The females have to also use that as bait now to an alpha to be able to catch an alpha. Just because these guys, they're true to themselves, carry themselves well, go about their business, focus on themselves, and build their lives up properly. And females are not the number one thing in their life. They're about their money, about their business. You understand? So this is important. You got to have something. You got to have a life full of activities, man. Things to do, not just waiting for a female. That's why you're full of, compliments all day long, ready to give as soon as she calls you, or as soon as. You have to understand, your average girl, listen, your average girl, she's got a few lurkers around her. She may have a boyfriend, but she's still got a few lurkers around her that she entertains. Maybe she ain't fucking them or not, but she got a few that she entertains for that non-sexual attention. And you could be one of those. If you're hanging around with this girl, doing all kinds of things for her, but you never get the ass, trust me, do you really think she ain't fucking? Do you really think this girl is not fucking? The girl that you hang around with all these months, years, if some of you, telling you she's not looking for a boyfriend right now, she's not in that kind of space right now. So sure, 1 or 2 times you bump into her with a man that's a possible lover, and then she tells you whatever story she tells you, but you still don't get no ass. There's been times where a nigga wants a girl, and then she tells you she's not looking for a relationship right now. Before you know it, you bump into her with a man. Before you bump into her with another man. Before you know it, she's dating this guy. Before you know it's been a year or 2, now she's in another relationship. But you just seem not to get your turn. Why do you think that is happening? Because she knew she wasn't going to give you some ass a long time ago. You get me? She knew this.